This video is not meant for children and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome back. I am Maester Aelix, and this is Stellaris Empires. And we are right back where we left off here on the creation screen, as we always do, and let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Today we're going with the Lost Colony origin, and this originally started out as a joke, and for those who've played Stellaris long enough, you know there's a group of marauders out there that proclaim you to be Dwemex! So I ran with that. I made raiders that are Dwemex. So, and then to maximize that, it made Lost Colonies. So there's the Marauders, there's the us, and then there's the original. So apparently that original empire split up quite a bit. Now before we get going, I had a definite military theme. However, if you really want to go deep into roleplay flavor with this, change either of these civics into the Eager Explorers, and that fits Lost Colony so incredibly well, because you start off on the back foot. You make it a little harder, but you start off with some lost and interesting technologies, and that's another way to go. However, today I'm going to go over how I did it this time. So let's start at the beginning. Today's appearance was brought to you by Reptilians. And I went with these Reptilians first because they have this big old chinny chin chin. And since I went with the Paradox logo, who have also a very big chinny chin chin, I figured, heck, why not? Since this is, archaeological, they could have had their chins diminish over time, became head ridges, but those could also be cartilage, which is why it doesn't show up in their bones. Anyway, with that funny aside done, we keep moving. The species name is Dwemek! Though, in all honesty, I probably should stop screaming it like that, because we're just regular Dwemex right now. So, as this was originally written as a joke on that Dwemek theme, I didn't write in a proper biology, though you'll see it down in the ruler traits later on. Name list, Reptilian 2, because these sound like names you could, scream out like Dwemek. Raxier, Rezikax, Morax, meh, 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 meh. And, it's just fun. Alright, now getting into the traits, as I said, we are war people who do war because we're war and we like war, and war's fun and all that. So we are very strong, army worker output good, army damage better, and defense army damage even better. So we invade better, and we are invaded way less. I went with slow breeders because it's my favorite one. It helps with the empire sprawl, and we're more likely to do other things to get more population. Alright, going to our home world, I picked an arid world because reptiles like sun generally. Starting solar system at just a random uniary. I think just a single star would work best. But, up to you. Homeworld Baranthur, because I thought that was really cool sounding, and so the name of the star is Baranth. Baranthur. Ur is in their language means planet, or planet of. Because, I'm a role player at heart. City appearance, well, we are reptiles, so I went with the reptile city. And then room 17 I went with because they've got these trophies on the wall, but also these nice curtains. So, slightly more civilized war compared to the barbaric despoilers that are my angry cockroaches. Though these guys are also good candidates for cosmogenesis. So anyway, Lost Colony. This civilization originated as a lost and forgotten colony separated from its homeworld long ago. The struggling colonists endured many hardships before they could build up the necessary technological and industrial base that would allow for a return to space. Their starting planet has the colonial spirit, which is a lot of really good bonuses, and there is an AI empire of the same species out in the galaxy. If we can conquer them, then we will have more of our own species, and the slow breeders won't matter. Which is always fun. Starting planet is not the Empire's homeworld is a downside, so we won't have 100% habitability. It'll be close, though. Alright, governing and ethics. Because we are war people who like war, and war is fun, I went with Fanatic Militarist. The claim influence cost is down by 20%, and the ship fire rate is up by 20%. That is a huge bonus. And, of course, Xenophobe, so we can, do terrible things to aliens. And Starbase influence cost is down. The pop growth is, or assembly speed is up, which helps with the slow breeders. Not great, though. I went with Oligarchic because we need either Oligarchic or I think it was Democratic for one of these. So first we got Citizen Service. Are you doing your part? Full citizenship and the political responsibility that comes with it is limited to those who have served in the tour of duty of the military. Service guarantees citizenship. So this gives us recruitment office holdings, which is really neat. Our naval capacity is up by 15%, and we get unity from soldiers, which is really, really good. And we have a new council position of Chief of Service, which can give us better armies. Now, we already have pretty good armies, so if we have another option, you might take that, or you might take this. Anyway, we also have warrior culture. This society has developed into a hardy warrior culture. Martial prowess is valued above all else, and true glory can be found in the field of battle. Love it. We don't have entertainers, instead we'll have duelists. Duelist turns alloy into unity, amenities, and naval capacity. Again, more naval capacity. The more ships we can field, the more we can overwhelm our enemies. And the more fleets we can have so we can cover more points as we sweep across their empires. We also replace conserved fauna jobs with gladiatorial beast jobs, which is just fun. Our army damage is up by 20%, our war exhaustion gain is down by 10%, and our mercenary enclave capacity is +1. So when we get to traditions, keep that in mind, because there is a set of traditions out there that also deals with mercenary enclaves. We can also get the council position of the Arbiter of Duels, which increases the output from duelists. So generally, I would go with the Chief of Service, but if you are not having a lot of ease of use finding enemies to smite, perhaps increase your duelists. Yet this has to be some degree militarist, and this has to be democratic or oligarchic. I went with oligarchic, because I felt that was more appropriate. So for advisor voice, I went with militarist.
It is a good day to die.
Indeed it is. And of course our empire name is the Dwemex Stellar Remnants, because we are what was left behind by the original Dwemex. This particular flag I am a little bit proud of. We have the military bar. Primary color is red, so that I'll be reflected in our ships. This pale gray color matches the body, as does the red. So I feel this is all very tied together. I like it a lot. And of course you got the Paradox logo, because they let us. So that is very cool. It's like them, but yeah, you get the idea. Ship appearance, I went with Reptilian, and thanks to the primary red, we have all the glowy bits being bright red, and that just makes them meaner and scarier. But of course, I also really love the boxiness of these ships. Before the Imperial was an option, this was always what I picked for my robot races, because boxy square boxes. And, slightly different looks for, like there's our construction ship. Colony ship, you don't really see anything, which is perfectly fine. So yeah, this is a really good ship set, and oh yeah, oh, that Colossus. Yeah, really fun. These guys are highly militarized, and so having a good look, really important. Because we are the Dwemex, I went with Badix. It just felt right. He's the Supreme Commander. Color variant 6 matches the flag to the face, and clothing 5 has this armored look, and that's not too fancy. These are, not Grand Republic Army of the third ruler of the 12th house. No. We work for the Supreme Commander. We are Dwemex. Just straight up armor. Long ago, wars forged this race into strong warriors that they are today. split away from the weaker factions and embrace such alien ideas as peace. Yeah, put in the wrong biography section, but you know what? Works for me. Ruler trait, fleet organizer, naval capacity up an additional 5% because more ships is more better. And we can work on gaining technology through salvage, largely. So here we are on the main plate, getting all the vital details, and I went over some of the more fun roleplay details. Let me get into the game, and I'll point out some more tips and tricks for playing the Dwamacs. How exactly the original Dwamac colonist arrives on Baron Thor is poorly documented, but we know they traveled a great distance in primitive starships. We lost many during the journey, and the conditions on the surface of our new homeworld were harsh at first. We overcame famines, wildlife attacks, and countless other challenges, and eventually farmed the planet. Surging population numbers and massive construction efforts soon gave us the means to return to the stars. Our old homeworld is still out there somewhere. No living Dwamacs on Baron Thor are old enough to have stood on it, but the fate of our ancestral home still occupies our minds. Oh yeah, good stuff. So I'm not actually playing, just going through the motions to get you guys the basics. One thing I like to do for these guys is right away trade out this trade hub for a second shipyard, because having more ships is going to be to our benefit. Now let me get this going so we can get to the Unity screen where we can actually look at the choices. So, because that's the next thing we're going to want to look at and plan around.
Complete.
Yes, stuff is happening. We may not be alone out here. Yes, we found another... Ooh, size 22, 80% habitability? That's definitely worth looking into.
Complete.
But, let's see, what do we got? 2 more months. 1
One
more month. There we go. Alright, so for our traditions, I would suggest starting off with supremacy. We want to be on the right foot for conquering the galaxy. Just go out there and smash. And if you have the right DLC, then I would go after aptitude next, because strong leaders make for strong fleets. And then by the time we get to the third one, you're probably going to be starting to feel more attacked as opposed to attacking. So unyielding is a really good defensive measure after that. After that, feel free to go after cybernetics, synthetics, psionics, or genetics. It's entirely up to you if you want to do any of those, though there are still plenty of really good other traditions out there. Domination is good. Enmity, because people are gonna hate you. Whatever you like. You're probably not gonna want politics, but hey, it's not out of the way. Subterfuge can be nice. I've enjoyed using spycraft at times, mostly to get a read on people, but every once in a while you can get some other really good bonuses. But yeah. Keep in mind, we're doing war, so supremacy is that first thing I want to check out. Aptitude for good leaders, unyielding for defense. Maybe switch those around if you find yourself an early enemy and maybe it's your original group, maybe it's not. But it's, things start getting a little dicey.
Available.
Remember, you can always build more ships and keep that defenses up. This is a really forward-thinking, aggressive enemy. Not quite as bad as those cockroaches I had earlier, which would bomb places to nothing. Again, if you want to go a little more roleplay heavy, pick Eager Explorers. It'll change the start of the game, but the origin will still have the other group out there, and they will be a problem. Because it's an AI-run empire, that's why I went with a more militarized option. But hey, it's up to you. It's your game. You play how you want. I'm just showing you what I do and what works for me. And, for me, there's always a level of roleplay in it. It's never just crunchy numbers. Well, with that being said, here's where I'm going to say thank you all for joining me. I really hope you're enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying making it for all of you. If you do, you know what to do, and that's to like, comment, and maybe watch 3 or 4 more of these videos to really show the algorithm that you like it. Otherwise, feel free to click subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I greatly appreciate everyone who does. And also feel free to check out my Patreon. links down below, and there's a lot of options for what you can get, and maybe you might even like it. And with that being said, I shall see you all on the next one. And I'd like to give a special shout out to all my patrons who help make these videos possible: Aaron Smith, Brian Pelfrey, Chris Armstrong, Dennis Detman, Harry Thompson, and Mark Milius. Thank you all so much for your contributions. I wouldn't have this channel without you. Thank you very much.